Hey guys, am I audible?
Yeah, Dinesh.
Okay. So, what we discussed, guys, yesterday session, what we discussed,
ELB.
ELB, elastic load balancer. Okay. So, have we done any demonstration on ELB?
Yeah, Dinesh.
Okay. And did we completed auto scaling group also? Auto scaling group.
Just started with auto scaling.
Okay. We just started with the basic introduction part. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
horizontal and vertical
Scale.
scale.
Okay. Okay. And horizontal and vertical scaling I have completed, right?
Just
Given the
explain the
definition.
definition and all. That's it.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So do you want me to repeat from auto scaling once again, or let's proceed with the next one? What do you guys say? Do you want to revise the auto scaling, or we'll go with the next step? Everyone, can you confirm quickly?
We'll revise.
We'll revise. Okay.
It's like just brief.
Okay. See, we have taken the session with respect to auto scaling. If someone is asking what is auto scaling, the immediate answer should be here. Here we will scale automatically, right? So the infrastructure, we will scale it automatically. Automatically we are scaling here. See, you know this scaling is coming from the word called scalability. There is a word called scalability. Whenever if you hear the word called scalability, what is scalability? Whenever if you run any application over the server, right? So that basically we need to increase or decrease. Say for an example, the customer, they are giving some request to access that particular application on hosted on particular server. Then what will happen? Sometimes the resources will be overloaded or maybe underloaded or underutilized, whatever it might be. You can tell something, right? So either your resources will be overloaded or underloaded. So how to decide this parameter? If you ask me, how to decide this parameter? Basically using the data points, right? Basically we will use the data points or metrics. Say for an example, we have a CPU utilization if it is greater than 70%, or RAM utilization or network utilization. Based on the different requirement changes, our infrastructure should automatically make it. Our infrastructure should automatically change it. It is not like I need to go there manually, I need to increase the number of server or I need to decrease the number of server. I cannot do that one. Automatically, the infrastructure should see the different metrics based on the requirement or based on the metrics data points that we have collected. We have an historical data. The system should begin in such a way that it should be flexible. Then we need a term called scalability. So basically in auto scaling, we have covered two topics. One is horizontal scaling, and another one is a vertical scaling. If you ask me what is horizontal scaling, here it is talk about a count, the number of server that we are increasing, that we are decreasing. It is nothing but a count, right? Sometimes I need to do the scale out. Scale out means I need to increase the number of server. Maybe I have a good requirement, I have a big requirement, I have a huge request, huge traffic. I'm getting the frequent loads. Then I have to scale out. But in some cases, I need to scale in also. So I need to reduce the number of servers because I need to do the cost management. I don't want unnecessarily my EC2 instance or server. It should be up and run. I need to delete the server. Then of course I need to reduce the server. So in that case, you guys can go for horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling talks about the count where I can increase or decrease the number of servers, scale out or scale in. But if I talk about the vertical scaling talks about size. When I say size, say for an example, we are using T2 micro, but I need say T2 large. I need to increase the infrastructure. I need to increase the configuration part. Say for an example, my machine is using 2 CPU core, and say for an example, which using the 16 gigabyte memory RAM, but I need to increase this to maybe a 16 CPU core with the say for an example, I have 128 gigabyte memory I need. In that case, I need to increase the size of my existing server. Then we need to go for a vertical scaling. We need to go for. So basically, a scalability, it is one of the capability. It is to change, right? Whenever, if I want to meet the unpredictable traffic, we don't know, right, when we will get the traffic. If it is a dynamic application and all, say for an example, in the weekend, we will have huge traffic, but in the weekday, yeah, maybe a traffic is low. And in the night, maybe traffic is low, but in the daytime, the traffic is again different. Again, it will vary a country to country, right? So that's where, we need to focus on whether are we going with horizontal scaling or the vertical scaling. If you go with the manually, everything you have to create a manually based on your data points that you have collected. It is a time consumption job. That's the reason we are all going with the auto scaling, a concept. Auto scaling. Simply, if you ask me what is auto scaling, it talks about the horizontal scaling where we are doing scale in or scale out, increasing or decreasing the number of servers. Hey guys, remember, there are two terms, right? One is auto scaling group or auto scaling, and another one is load balancer. Load balancer. So what is the purpose of auto scaling? Auto scaling, it is to increase or decrease the number of servers. Simply remember, scale in or scale out. Scale in or scale out. But what is the purpose of a load balancer? Load balancer is to distribute the load, right? Is to distribute the load, just to distribute the load. But who is responsible for increasing or decreasing the server? Which is nothing but your auto scaling. Auto scaling is responsible for increasing or decreasing the server, but load balancer is to distribute the load to the server. So, and remember, this increasing or decreasing the number of server on condition, right? Based on the various data points, various metrics that you are collecting, your system or customization, you have to do it from your side. Thereby, you can add some kind of policy. We can increase or decrease the number of servers. Is that okay?
Yeah, Dinesh.
Okay. So remember, auto scaling, increase or decrease the server on condition. But load balancer, it is to distribute the load. It is to split your load across the servers. Fine. Now, so I'm going to teach you here the first, maybe we will talk with the EC2 auto scaling. Elastic Cloud Computing, auto scaling, we will talk about. In EC2, we have a auto scaling. Right. See, in EC2 auto scaling, what we are going to do? We are going to auto scale all my EC2 instance. Say for an example, if I have a 10 EC2 instance, automatically based on my traffic, it should distribute the load, right? But load balancer will take care. But who will increase or decrease the server? The auto scaling will take care of this one. So let's say practically, then you will get an idea. See, I will go my Amazon management console. Let me click on sign into the console. And then let me click on this EC2. And in the left-hand side panel, if you come below, can you see the auto scaling? We have auto scaling, right? In auto scaling, we have auto scaling group also. Auto scaling group also. Now let me click on this auto scaling group. So did you remember in load balancer, we have created one group which is called target group. It is a target group where I can put a multiple server. Target group, it is the place where I can see a group of servers. But auto scaling group, here also, we are going to scale our application, scale our EC2. Let me click on create auto scaling group. Then you can see some group name, normal group name. You can give like it's a auto scaling group hyphen. Say in order to make it unique, I can give the date. Auto scaling group 11/4/2023. And then launch a template. So this is important term, guys. What is launch template? What is launch template? Guys, launch template is nothing but, see, suppose if you use a term called launch instance, what you basically do? You will give the software part, say suppose for an example, you will give the name for your instance, for your EC2 instance, and then you will select your application AMI. The third step, you will select the instance type. The fourth step, you will select the key pair. Fifth step, you will give a security group or network settings, VPC, subnet, that and all you have to give it. And you have to give the storage part also. And then you need to tell number of instances. Then finally, you will click on launch. Thereby what will happen? Whatever the configuration you have given, right? Whatever the configuration that you have given, this is the configuration, right? You already given. This is the property that you want your EC2 instance should have, right? Then finally what will happen? When you click on connect, so automatically your instance will run. You can run your instance. After giving this property, you basically run your instance. This is what you will do when you use the launch instance. But when you use the launch template, the same, guys. Here also you can define various properties. Here also you can define various property. Now, when you click on launch template, it will not run your instance. Remember, it won't run your instance. It won't run your instance. Instead, what it will do? Basically, it will create a template. That's it. It will create one template saying that I am going to create or I am going to run your EC2 instance. That instance should have this property. That's it. You are just creating one image. You are not running. You are just creating one blueprint. You are not running it. That's the difference between launch template and launch instance. Launch instance where you will give some detail and you can run your instance. But when you use the launch template, only you are defining the blueprint. Only you are designing the template. That's it. In future, I am going to use this template to launch my instance. That's what launch template refers. Are you getting my point? What is the difference between launch template and launch instance? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically, launch template, it's a kind of a template. It is a template which contains the configuration or requirement, whatever the requirement that you have, AMI that I need, instance type, security part, network setting, everything you can define. What is the purpose? To give a type of EC2 instance that we want. As of now, we are not running the EC2 instance. We are just preparing one template. This template, you can use it to launch your EC2 instance. Are you clear, guys? What is the difference between launch instance and launch template? Can you confirm? Yes? Why silent, guys? Not able to hear or not able to understand?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So, fine. Okay, right. Now, let me go ahead and create a template in your Amazon Management Console. Say here, can you see the create a launch template, right? You just click on this and it will open in the new tab. Here you can give your template, how your EC2 instance looks like. That you can give it here. Say for an example, this is my EC2 hyphen. I can give 11 April 2023. And the template version, maybe say this is my first version of EC2. Like that I can give it. And apart from this, you can leave it as it is. And now let's AMI, right? You can give the AMI. See, when you click on quick start, we have a different AMI. I can go with the Linux AMI. I need my EC2 machine should have Linux AMI. And instance type, I can go with any instance type. Let me select T2 micro. T2 micro is the instance type, and the keeper I don't want. I just click on don't include in launch template, and network settings. Okay, don't include, but security group. Suppose if you want to include the security group, you can include the security group also. Say I have a security group, a default security group. I can go with the default security group. I will go with the default security group. Click on and come below. I can see the storage. Just leave it as it is. Resource stack as it is. Advanced detail as it is. Fine. That's it. A simple steps, right? Simple steps we have followed. Just I am creating a template. I'm not creating an instance. I am creating a template. That's it. Click on creating a template. Now I'm going to see the template. I have a template, right? There are two templates available here. This is the template I have created. Earlier I was creating this particular template, but this is the template just now created here. EC2-11 April 2023. This is the template I have created here. So maybe to avoid the confusion, let me delete this template. Better. Delete. Okay, I have this particular template. So only I have created the template. I didn't run my EC2 instance and all. Any question here? How to create the template? Everyone clear?
Yes, Dinesh.
Yep.
Okay, I have created the template now. Now let me go here once again. Once again, I will go to the auto scaling page. So here, I can find the template, right? Click on this. Can you see? Oh no, not this one. Refresh this one. Can you see the template that I have created? EC2-11 April 2023. Fine. I'm selecting the particular template. Apart from this, so in that template, what I include? T2 micro, right? And that name is this one. And the first version of EC2 is the description. This is my AMI and spot instance, no, and keeper, security group ID, okay, storage and everything, whatever that I have given for this particular template, I can see it here. So now let me click on next. Click on next. Now, and I have selected the VPC, which is the default VPC, and I will go with the availability zone also. So you can go with any availability zone. Let me select 1A is the availability zone. 1A is the availability zone. And then this is instance type, guys. For that particular template, we have given T2 micro, right? This is the instance type. Suppose if you want to override this template, it means that if you want to update your template, you can update it here. I don't want T2 micro, I want T2 nano. Yeah, you can update here. You can override the launch template, or otherwise, you just go with this. Click on next. And load balancing. See, I already mentioned you. For an example, I have an application. This application has hosted on number of server. Okay. Can we update template after template creation, sir? Yes, we can able to update. I mean, because it's a template, right? Template can be updated. Right. See, I have an application. It is hosted on a different server, say S1 and S2 and S3. This is the 3 server. I have hosted my application. Say for an example, I'm not getting the, or otherwise, consider like this particular S1, a server is not healthy. Say it is unhealthy. So what immediately will happen? Your load balancer, it will not divert or it will not send the traffic to this S1, right? Because it is unhealthy. Thereby, your traffic will be diverted into other servers, right? S2 and S3. But consider your S2 and S3 is not able to handle this particular traffic. Initially, you have made it as a 3 server. Now, your S1 server is unhealthy. Because of that, S2 and S3 only handling all the traffic. But it is a bit difficult. An IT company or a project, they are not able to handle this much traffic. Then what I need to do? I need to increase the scale out, right? I need to scale out. Then who will do the scale out? Who will do the scale out? Auto scaling will do the scale out. So auto scaling group, what it will do? It will do the scale out. It will do the scale out. But suppose, say for an example, you have a 3 server, but what is happening? One server is enough. Other 2 server is not required. Maybe in the midnight, we don't require other 2 server. In that case, I need to do the reducing the server, right? Scaling. Who will do the scaling? Auto scaling group will do the scaling. So remember, basically your load balancer, it is only responsible for distributing the load. It is not to increase or decrease the load. Who is responsible for increasing or decreasing the load? Which is auto scaling group. Auto scaling group will increase or decrease the number of servers. Increase or decrease the number of servers. Right? So let me show you some definition for your auto scaling group. Auto scaling helps maintain the availability of your application. You know, right? Availability of your application means what? Your application should always available. You should reduce as much as you can reduce the downtime. You have to reduce the downtime, right? So that's the reason availability comes into the picture. High availability. Any application, if it is providing the high availability, means there is a lesser downtime. Whenever if it is required, then your application is providing an access. Auto scaling group or collection of Amazon EC2 instance that enable automatic scaling. Automatic scaling means scale out and scaling, horizontal scaling, and fleet management feature. What is fleet management feature? What is fleet management feature? Did you remember in EC2, I have covered one class called pricing option. Pricing option. There are 4 pricing options are available. One is on-demand pricing, and we have a spot instance, reserved instance, and dedicated host. That's the pricing option, various pricing option on your EC2. Whenever, you know, if you need one maybe isolated server, you can go for dedicated host. If I need more, you know, say for an example, my application, I'm going to create for 1 to 3 years. AWS has to provide some services. Then you can go for reserved instance. But whenever if you have a demand, you need to get it, then you can go for on demand. And sometime I want more, maybe I need to save my money. I need to get more discount, and I'm not doing any critical job. It is very minor job only. In that case, you will go for spot instances also. But what is fleet management? Using the auto scaling, you will basically increase or decrease the server, right? That pricing option, maybe you can get the combination, either spot with reserved or reserved with on demand with maybe a reserved. Like that, you can get some combination. That's nothing but a fleet management feature. So the combination of any 2 pricing option is nothing but fleet management. Are you clear?
Yes.
Right. See, if you ask me how it works, your auto scaling group. So there are 3 terminology you have to remember. One is minimum size, and another one is maximum size. The third one is the desired capacity. In that, very important, desired capacity. What is the desired capacity? It is the initial configuration. Say, you are creating one auto scaling group. At the time of creation, you know, you have to give number of server, how many server you want. The initial setup, how many initial server that you require. The initial capacity, you can tell with the help of a desired capacity. Say for an example, I can tell, hey, initially I need a 2 server, or I need a 5 server, I need a 10 server. When you create the auto scaling group, the number of server that you want in the initial setup itself, that time you can give the desired capacity. Then what is the minimum size and what is maximum size? Say for an example, you have given the desired capacity. Desired capacity is equal to 2 you have given. Or maybe you have given 5. 5 is the desired capacity. Right? Now, who will give this 5 desired capacity? Which is auto scaling group will take care. When you create the auto scaling group, you will get the 5 server. What is the minimum limit in which you can scale in? What is the minimum limit in which you can scale in? That is nothing but minimum. The limit in which you can scale in. எது வரைக்கும் நம்ம கீழே போகலாம் அப்படின்றத பத்தி பேசுறதா மினிமம். மினிமம் இஸ் நத்திங் பட் the limit in which you can scale in. Say for an example, I can go till 2. It means that minimum should be 2. From 5, I can reduce to 2. Right? So I cannot go below 2. That's the minimum. With the help of auto scaling group, you are saying, right, initially I need a 5 server, but you can go as much as you can below. But what is the limit? 2 is the limit. 2 is the limit based on the different data metrics. What is the maximum limit? You can set it again. Maximum limit, maybe you can set it like maybe a 7 is the maximum limit. More than 7, the auto scaling group, it will not take care. Auto scaling group, once you created, you have to define this many parameters. You have to say desired capacity, you have to tell a minimum and maximum. The limit in which you can go scale out, right? This talks about scaling actually. The minimum limit in which you can scale in, which is 2. How much you can scale out? How much you can scale out? Which is 7. So here, can you see? An auto scaling group is a collection of EC2 instances that are created as a logical unit. You configure setting for a group and instances as well to define the group minimum, maximum, and desired capacity. Setting a different minimum and capacity value from bounds of the group, which allow group to scale as the load on your application spikes higher or lower. Based on the demand, right? Based on the demand only, we need to scale out or scale in. To scale auto scaling group, you can either manual adjustment to the desired capacity or let Amazon EC2 auto. Okay, this is I will cover while taking this issue, right? As of now, remember, there are 3 parameters. One is minimum size, maximum size, and desired capacity. Desired capacity is the initial configuration you have to set it. Minimum, the top, lowest value that your instance can go. And the maximum size, auto scaling group offers maximum number of instances. Are you clear so far?
Sir, can you repeat it, sir? Desired size.
So, say for an example, say for an example, there is a initial capacity, initial number, say initial number. I am going to give some initial number. The initial number is say 5. Initial number is 5. It means that, say for an example, say, let me take, right? So what happened? I have admitted in the hospital. Consider like I have admitted in the hospital. And what doctor is saying, right? You can take 3 idli every day. He's saying, right? Every morning you can take 3 idli. That maybe I can call it as desired capacity. So desired capacity, what he's saying, you can take 3 idli. And along with that, I am asking, hey, whether I can take 5 idli, like that. I'm asking the question to the doctor. What is saying? Yeah. But what is the maximum number you can take it? Maximum number should be 4, not beyond that. And also is saying, what is the minimum number also? Minimum, you should be very guaranteed saying that you need to take at least 2. Otherwise, your health will be spoiled. That's nothing. In the same way, for EC2, I'm saying in auto scaling group, maybe this time you can offer me, you can give me based on my metrics, can you give me a 5 server? And later, ASG is going to automatically scale in or scale out, right? What it will do? Minimum, I have to define. Minimum, I need 1 server. Maximum, I need only a 15 server. More than 15 server, auto scaling group, it will not help you. And lesser than 1 server, auto scaling group, it will not allow. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
It is all based on demand. Remember, it is all based on demand. Suppose.
Sir, but here we are taking desired servers 5.
What
So,
based on the current situation, saying like I need a 5/7. I set in the AWS cloud, but I'm not sure what happened to next hour. That I'm not sure. For that reason, what I'm doing, I'm forecasting and I'm defining the initial setup. It means the minimum and maximum value also. Aman is asking one question. 1 minute. If server comes to minimum capacity 2, then to match with the desired capacity equal to 5, EAG will create extra 3 server automatically, right? Is that right? It is correct, Aman. Yes. Nikhil, are you clear?
yes, sir.
Say for an example, Nikhil, I'm asking one question. Say for an example, to handle my traffic, I need a 16 server. Can you tell me, will AWS AG group will provide you the 16 server? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Minimum, maximum 16, sir.
Maximum 15, right? I mentioned. But
Maximum
my
15.
traffic, can be handled only by the 16 server. Will ASG group will allow? Yes or no? No, it will not allow.
No, sir.
No, it will not allow, right? Say for an example, if I define here, say my requirement is 8 server. I need a 8 server to handle. Who will automatically scale out? Who will automatically scale out? Nikhil? Who will automatically scale out? Auto scaling group. Auto scaling group will scale out.
Auto scaling.
Fine. Now listen. Now, I don't have a load balancer. As of now, I haven't created any load balancer. Just you can click on no load balancer. Suppose if you already have a load balancer, you can attach it. Suppose if you want to create a new load balancer, you can go with this one. As of now, let me go with the no load balancer because I don't have a load balancer. Right? And VPC part L check. As I mentioned, right? L check is nothing but increases availability or replacing unhealthy instance. Suppose if you want to do some customization, if you want a customization, you can do it with respect to L check. In already in load balancer, we have L check. In auto scaling group, if you want to do some customization, you can customize. Otherwise, you can leave it as it is. And this is not required. Click on next. And here only minimum desired capacity and the maximum capacity you have to define. Say for an example, I'm defining one is the minimum capacity. One is the desired capacity. Then auto scaling group, how many server it will allocate? Can you tell me someone? How many server it will
One.
allocate? Only one server.
Minimum one. Yeah, one.
Minimum also one, maximum also one.
Yeah.
Right? Now, say for an example, if I type like this, can you tell me what will happen? What will happen?
It will create
Max.
only one.
It will create 2 servers, right? Desired
2
capacity.
servers, max 2.
Yeah.
Two
But
servers.
maximum capacity is
One, right? It is a wrong. It is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't give properly. So remember, here you have to make it at least, either you can make it as a 2 or you can make it as a 4 or 6 also. Yes or no?
So whatever be the maximum capacity, the maximum will create. Even
Yes.
if it is exceeding the desired capacity, it
Yes.
will not go, right?
Yeah, no, initially it will give you 2 server, but if you give the maximum capacity is a 4, suppose if we are getting the traffic for 4 server, then it will increase the number of server accordingly. That's the purpose of auto scaling group.
That's correct. But if the desired capacity, if we want to increase, the maximum capacity also should be maximum. Like it should be below the maximum
Exactly.
capacity, right?
Yes. Your desired capacity should be lesser than or equal to maximum capacity.
Yeah.
Yes. Your desired capacity should be lesser than or equal to your maximum capacity. Right? Either it should be equal or otherwise lesser. Can I put like this? Can you tell me? Now, can I put minimum capacity is 2? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yes, right? It is possible. Then what is the limit in which we can scale in? What is the limit in which we can scale in here?
2, sir.
2, correct. So till 2, it will reduce. It will not go below this. Fine. So let me make it as this is also 1. Let me make it as this is also 1. For this demo, I can make it everything as a 1. And see, and scaling policy, later we can add it. Click on next. And if you want to add some notification, Did you remember? Basically, we will add some SNS notification and all, and no. If you want to add some notification, you can add it. If you want SNS notification, say when there is an increase in load or decrease in load, if you want some email notification should be added, yeah, you can add it. But I don't want notification and all, just I will remove it. I don't want notification, let me remove. Click on next. And I don't want tags also, click on next. That's it. You can review everything, whatever you have created. Just to create an auto scaling group. Now it will create a auto scaling group. See here you can see the updating capacity, right? Now let me click on this auto scaling group and you can see the activity, right? Here you can see the instances. Launching a new EC2 instance. So it is creating an instance. So let me show. Otherwise here we can go. I can type EC2 and click on this and go to this instances. As of now, can you see one instances is started? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Who has started this instance? Who has given this one instance, one EC2, which is auto scaling group?
Auto scaling.
The auto scaling group is giving the instances for you. Auto scaling group, it is giving EC2 instance for you guys. Now suppose if I set a desired capacity is 2, how many instances getting launched?
2 instances.
2 instances is getting launched. Maybe let me update this. So after a couple of seconds, you can see successful, right? My EC2 instances got created, so I can see successful. Now what I'm going to do, I will click on this detail and I will click on edit. Now I will make the desired capacity is 2 this time. I will make desired capacity is 2. And the maximum capacity is, maybe let me make it as also 2. Desired capacity is 2, maximum capacity is 2. Now click on update. I have clicked on update. Now let me go to the activity. Go to the activity and let me refresh. Let me refresh. Will take some time. We'll wait. We'll wait. And meanwhile, I will refresh here also. See, can you see other instances got created? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The another instance also got created. See, it is in pre-in service. Pre-in service. After a couple of seconds, you can see like this instance is also getting launched. Okay, let me refresh it again. Yes, it's successful. Now if I see here, I have 2 EC2 instance is running. How? With the help of auto scaling group. To understand more, see, suppose, let me delete, say I can rename this one. Say this is web server 1 and this one is the web server 2. This is my web server 2. Now what I will do, I will make it unhealthy. This instance, I'm going to terminate. It means that I'm going to make it unhealthy, right? It is an unhealthy instance, maybe I am considering. I'm going to terminate this EC2 instance. I have terminated. See, it is shutting down. Now, let me refresh it here. Let me refresh it here. What is the desired capacity, guys? We have set. What is the
2.
desired capacity? 2. The desired capacity is 2. Now, it will take some time. Once it is terminated, you will get the idea. So, let me refresh it again. It is successful. Okay. Refresh it. We'll wait. Yes, it terminated, right? Now, can you see here? Can you see here? Let's wait. Let me check. Auto scaling group. I can click on this and the desired capacity is 2. Click on activity. Now, can you see in progress what is happening here? One instance is unhealthy, but no problem. Immediately it will create another EC2 instance. Are you getting me? Yes or no? Because I said the desired capacity is 2. One instance is unhealthy. Immediately what will happen? It will repair. When I say repair, it will replace this EC2 instance by another instance. It will replace by this instance by another EC2 instance. That's the purpose of auto scaling group. Based on your company infrastructure, based on the requirement, it will increase or decrease the number of servers. Are you getting my point?
Yes, Dinesh, got it.
That's the purpose of auto scaling group. One instance is unhealthy. Everything I cannot do manually, right? I cannot do manually. I cannot go it and create one more EC2 instance and I have to host that particular application on the server. It is very difficult. And for that reason, we are going for auto scaling group. Auto scaling group will take care of everything. Yeah, it is successful. Now my instance is up and running. Are you clear with this? What is auto scaling group? How it works? Guys, I'm asking. I need a quick
Yeah,
confirmation.
okay, Dinesh, got it. See, in auto scaling group, we have one section called automatic scaling section. Here, suppose in real time, we don't know our data metrics and all. In that case, if you want to create any dynamic scaling, based on your requirement, the configuration should automatically flexible. Then you can go for this dynamic scaling policy. Thereby, you can create dynamic scaling policy. So what will happen? Based on your customer traffic, again, based on the CPU utilization or network performance, whatever the metrics has been captured, dynamically your application also or your AWS cloud will scale accordingly. This is dynamic scaling policy. Dynamic scaling policy uses the real-time data. It means that in the live, it will scale your group based on the configuration metrics. Metrics. Maybe you can get the metrics from the CloudWatch. And we have another one, predictive scaling policy. Suppose you know your business, you know your historical data, last 6 months or 1 year historical data you have, how your CPU utilization, how your traffic is coming, what is happening in the morning, what is happening in the evening, everything you know. If you have historical data, then you can select this one, a predictive scaling policy. It is evaluation based on 2 days, evaluation based on 1 week, 8 week I have a evaluation. In that case, you can go with predictive scaling policy. Sometime you can go with a scheduled action also. Say Saturday and Sunday, I will get more load. Maybe a morning 9 to or maybe 7 to 10, I will get more load. You can apply some scheduled action. Thereby, auto scaling group automatically scale out or scale in. Either of them you can select. Either you can go for dynamic scaling policy. Most of the time in real time, the people will use the dynamic scaling policy. But suppose if you are using some static application and all, and if you know your business well and you know the traffic also, go with the predictive scaling. Or if you want to schedule, yeah, you can schedule it. That's nothing but an automatic scaling feature from your auto scaling group. Are you clear, guys? Yes, no? Yes, Dinesh.
Yes, sir.
Any question on this so far? Before ending this auto scaling, any question on auto scaling? Can I delete this one? No, right? Guys, I have a question for you guys. Tomorrow, you can invest your time and try to learn it. So tomorrow, just to tell me what is the difference between launch template and the launch configurations. Launch configuration. Can you see here? In our launch configuration, we have, right? Here we have a launch configuration. And in auto scaling group, we have a launch template. Tomorrow, you just let me know what is the difference between, because when you delete this one, your EC2 also gone. When you delete the auto scaling group, your EC2 instance also gone, remember. Tomorrow tell me what is the difference between launch template and the launch your configuration. That's it. With respect to your auto scaling, it is enough for your interview point of view and real time. So the next topic that I said tomorrow, I will start the DevOps. But we have a few more topics left in your AWS, which is Beanstalk I need to cover, and one migration project I have to cover, and along with that, the Route 53 that we can cover in our weekends. But tomorrow I will start the DevOps. For that, just revise your waterfall model and agile model. Okay.
Sir, DevOps will complete within how many sessions, sir?
More than 15 days.
Okay.
Any question, guys? No? Hello? Okay, then we'll see tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
I think someone asked
Okay.
a chat
The chat box?
question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What is the question? So launch configuration is created from the existing EC2. No, a launch configuration is created from existing EC2 means, Aman, you mean like EC2 instance is running. That's what you are saying? Aman?
Yeah, it seems the same.
No, Aman, no. Basically, launch configuration is not created from the existing EC2 instance that is running. Basically, it is also a template like your launch template. But there is the major difference between your template and configuration. But both are a template, both a template. It is not like we are creating from existing EC2 or not. No. So you just, learn these things tomorrow and let me know. And if you have any correction, I can tell you tomorrow. Bye.